Hello everyone, this is Juan Carlos.
Gio over here, driving. We are in the car.
Ready for a adventure.
An adventure, another adventure. Absolutely.
It's related to
Halloween. Spooky time. So you might recall last year we went and we were invited to a thing called Haunt Ride and also the Haunt Trail out at Treetops Park in Davie, Florida. And they were gracious enough to invite us back again this year for their newest scare. And this year it's called Tormented Trail. Dun dun dun.
Sounds scary.
So what do you think is different this year compared to last year?
That they are not driving?
Yeah, so the big difference this year is there's no drive part. And it's only the haunted trail or the tormented trail. And it looks like the trail is a little longer this year. They're saying that the trail is about a 20-minute trek. And there's two different options of the trail this year. One is like just the regular scare. And then there's the, I don't know what they're calling it. We'll put it up on the screen. The very, very, very scary version, which costs a little bit more, and it's more interactive, apparently. And the scare actors are actually allowed to interact with you and maybe touch you. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like people touching me. What about you? You want somebody jumping out and touching you?
I don't care.
You don't care? Doesn't bother you? No. For me, I think that scares me. But anyway, so
That's
we're going to...
point.
I know, it's the point, Amor. For sure. But we're super excited and very, very happy that they reached out to us again. They sent us a message on our Instagram that they wanted us to come back out again and experience it. We're on our way there now. We'll be there in a few minutes. And when we get there, we'll share more info and what we can. Now, we do know that, like last year, we can take the camera with us. We just can't have it pointed at the haunts the whole time. We can have it pointed at us, so we can show you some of our reactions. But I do remember last year it being very dark.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for that. But we will give you as much info as we can and give you our honest opinion of the scare. So, anything else you want to say?
Spooky time.
Huh?
Spooky time.
Spooky time. Happiness is a lifestyle. Okay, everybody, so we made it out to Treetops Park. We're ready to get our scare on. We just parked our car. And if you came to this event last year, it's still the same location. And instead of the drive-through part, you're going to come all the way over to where the haunt trail was last year. Parking is across the street and or VIP parking and or handicap parking close up to the entrance to the exhibit.
Yeah.
One thing that we didn't mention last year that we took advantage of this year, we did before we left the house, is what did we spray on us?
Bug spray.
Yeah, so we highly recommend you do bring some bug spray out here, and I already saw some bugs flying around. You're going to be out in the woods walking around, so it's a good idea to have it if you don't want to get bit.
Yeah, it's a little warm, so you probably won't need the sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It
Shorts,
depends on the day,
t-shirt.
of course.
But right now, yeah, it's nice. The sun is getting ready to go down. So yeah, we're going to go check in over here and see what's going on, but we're super excited. We got our little pumpkin t-shirt. I'm sort of channeling my inner Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. So let's go check this out and get tormented, shall we?
And look at the moon.
Oh yeah, La Luna.
You mind if I get your footage?
Yes. I brought my pumpkin socks just for you.
Oh, beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I hope you're ready to come inside.
Who said you could get out of your cell?
I'm sorry.
Get back in there!
I'm sorry about him. He's a little bit of a loose cannon, if you get my drift.
Time to go.
No one controls me.
Nobody controls
No
you?
one controls me.
How come?
No one!
I said I don't like you!
All right, so we're about to enter. We're getting ready to do the VIP experience, and Juan Carlos is going to do the little more intense experience. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, meaning that they are able to touch me,
Yes.
push me maybe.
Yeah, touch, tickle, push. So we'll see. We'll see how that is. He'll give you a full rundown at the end. Now, one of the things to think about, there's general admission, which is a regular line where you go in groups of 10 to 12 people. If you go with the VIP experience, you're on the trail with whatever size group you have. So if it's just 2 of you or just 1 of you, you're going alone. And or up to 6 people for the VIP. And then you have the option of the add-on for being touched, etc. So that's kind of cool. And then there's 2 separate trails this year. So there's the main trail and then the secondary trail. And in total, it takes about 20 minutes. If for any reason you do get too scared on the trail, folks, there are 2 exits. But apparently they're called chicken exits, and if you leave halfway through, it's a long, lonely walk out by yourself in the woods. So you might not want to chicken out. Anyway, we'll let you know what we think at the end, but let's go get our scare on, shall we?
I choose to, it's not mandatory. I choose to
Yes,
wear my
masks.
just because they are going to get really close to me. So just
Yeah, we're
be
going to
safe.
wear them since they're getting a little close, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I'm a little scared. You scared?
No.
He's not
yet.
scared.
It's time to get scared.
Get your scare on. A little scared. Here we go. Ah! Oh! Somebody breathing.
That means I can eat. I haven't feasted in decades. Which one of you shall I eat first?
Are you hungry?
You're not feasting on me. That's
What
There's
is
some really,
that?
really juicy coming behind us. Over here, chainsaw.
have to pay the
You
toll.
gonna stay? You're gonna stay? We're gonna have ourselves a feast. It's gonna be wonderful. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be the main course.
I like that with the violin and the smell of
Yeah, no,
the gas on a chainsaw. Spooky. So far it's really, really dark.
And I got scared.
That's my first official scare. Good job. So that was fun because that was my first official scare. So the trail is definitely dark,
with some lights here
and there's
there,
some
but
lights that's strategically placed to kind of make it difficult for you to see. We got a t-shirt hanging in the tree,
with some holes.
holes in it. Uh-oh.
Hello?
Okay.
Have you seen my son Junior?
I haven't seen Junior.
Ray, you better get off my trail. Not
Uh-oh.
you. You're coming with me.
Oh no!
Okay, go.
Help me!
Oh, we got him now.
We're taking him. What just happened to you?
So one of the guys grabbed me, like literally he grabbed me, and then another guy came in and they were like grabbing me and chasing me and pushing me. They made me run, and then they like put me in this little trail different.
Yep.
So it was
And
a
I'm
lot
like,
of fun.
I went following him. The guy was like, "You can't go that way." And I'm like, "Oh, don't stop me. I'm going." And all I could see is your glow necklace in the distance. And then I was like trying to go, and I accidentally ripped my mask. So I'm gonna have to hold it like this because my earpiece broke. But that was fun. It was scary.
Plastic. Better not be no plastic in my woods.
I know.
You come as you are and you leave as you were.
I agree with you 100%. Why do we got plastic?
Well, we're going
It's
to
not
pick that up, ain't
That's
we?
not very environmentally friendly.
Well, welcome to my home. I've been wandering around here many, many years.
Oh!
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Ready for your carousel?
Here you go, Pastor.
I love your carousel horse. Beautiful.
She's a happy clown. Yeah, I guess I should just go. Bye.
Leave!
I'm leaving.
Faster!
Faster.
Faster. Now.
More plastic.
No, I want to stay.
You think you have a choice? You think you have a choice? Go!
Oh. She's not. Oh. You're waiting for us.
Uh-oh. We're so traumatized we have nothing to say. Just kidding, we got a lot to say. As you can see, we're back home. We survived the torture and the torment of the tormented trails. I'm going to let Juan Carlos talk first because you did the enhanced VIP experience. So tell him.
It was a lot of fun. It's definitely worth it. Yes, 100%. If you don't mind people touching you and pushing you and making you run, that's perfect experience. Yeah, it's 100% worth it. It was a lot of fun. They get like really close, and at one point they literally grabbed me and made me go running on a different trail. And it was one guy first, and then another one joined the two of us, and then we were just running. And he kept saying, "Just keep running, keep running. You have to get out of here." And then I was like, I wonder, because it was really dark. I was like, I wonder when this is going to end, because it was like a good run. And then I love the fact that they engage in little chat with you. So if you say something, they will reply. They will say something back. So that's a lot of fun. They also have people at the queue line already.
At the very beginning.
Yeah, scaring other people. So that's fun too. But yeah, I think it's scary. It's fun. It's a good walk. It's a 20-minute walk. And yeah, I really liked it.
He did. And I did too. I did not partake in I don't like people touching me. I don't want anybody grabbing me, touching me. That's just me. So he was a little braver than I was. But we were together. So just to kind of recap, there's several different ticket options that you can purchase for the Tormented Trails. There are 2 trails. So you can buy a ticket that allows you to go on one trail only, or you can buy a ticket that allows you to go on both trails. Or you can upgrade yourself to what's called the VIP experience. And the VIP experience can be you by yourself, or maybe with a friend, or like a small group of people. But the nice thing about the VIP experience is you're not going to be put into a large group of people. So for example, typically they're sending in groups of like 10 to 12 at once. So he and I were sent in by ourselves, and there was nobody around us. So that was great.
I think they said that the VIP is max 6 people.
Yeah, I think they said that. So don't quote us, but yeah, I think it's maximum of a group of 6 that can go. I think so.
I mean, again, if you're in a bigger group and you have the VIP, well,
I'm sure they'll let you.
Yeah, go as a group, but
Yeah. But, and then they offer the enhanced experience, which is an additional price point. We're not going to tell you what the exact dollar amount is because it fluctuates depending on the time and the day and as we get closer to Halloween. So we'll put a link to the website below, and if you click on the particular date, you'll see all the different price points online.
there was a lot of people today already.
Yeah, tonight was opening night. And again, we want to thank the team out there at Haunt Trails, specifically Tormented Trails, and a little shout out to Wayne again.
They are making a super.
Yeah, they're
great
doing a
job.
really good job. And we did this last year, and if you haven't had a chance, we'll put a link up here, or up here. I never remember which side.
Yeah, it's very different because last year they were doing the drive. This year they are not. So there's not like a one theme.
Correct, yeah. Last year, the overall theme was it was a brouhaha, which means witches. So there was a kind of a common...
No, brouhaha.
Did I say brouhaha? A bruja. But this year, trail number 1 is different than trail number 2, but the types of scares are different. So there's not an overall story or theme. However, trail number 2 is definitely more on the demonic witchcraft, a little more darker, a little more spookier. Definitely in trail 2. Than
Yeah,
trail 1.
the last character. I was like, I think I've seen you in a black metal concert.
Yeah, it was interesting. So one of the things that I really like about this experience is the fact that if you've been to a traditional haunted house, or you've been to, for example, Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, and they do an amazing job of creating these amazing houses that you go through. But it's a constant stream of people, and you're up against people, and it's just like this constant flow. So there's not a lot of anticipation that happens in those experiences.
Because you heard the 2 people in front of you screaming, so you know that there's something.
Yeah, so you can see it. In this experience, you're in the woods, and and they do a really good job with lighting. So there'll be some lighting off in the distance, so you kind of know where you're going, but the lighting kind of impacts your vision, so you really can't see what's coming out of the woods at you, and you're not surrounded by other people. Now, certainly you can hear in the distance screams and noises and things of that nature, and to me, that's a much more immersive, spooky, kind of scary experience, and that's what I like about this event. And there's not constant scares happening.
Yeah,
so there's points where
like
you're...
aisle time between one scare and the other, which is fine, because if you had a scare after scare after scare, at one point you're like, okay,
yeah, I think it would get boring. And I think I like the fact that there's periods where you're just walking through the woods and you're wondering,
and especially if you're having the full experience when they can touch you, because you're like hyper aware of someone
they
might
can
just jump
at
at you and push you or something, which is, for me, was better, because like in other experiences that I had, well, they are going to show up at some point, but that's it. They will like jump in front of you, that's it. But this time you don't know, maybe are they going to push me? Are they going to touch me? Are they going to just walk behind me? Or so?
Well, we will point out too, in Juan Carlos, and I'm very thankful that you did this, by the way, and thinking, we are still living in the time of the pandemic and COVID and everything. And while masks are not required, they are suggested. But for the experience where the scare actors can literally, they're like right up on you and they can touch you.
They will scream.
They will scream at you. And so there's really not a lot of distancing happening at all. So he chose to wear a mask, and in turn, I chose to wear the mask during the walk as well.
He's broke.
When he got grabbed and dragged into the woods, I went to follow after, and the person that dragged him into the woods was telling him to run, and they were running, and I went to go after, and there was another character that was like, no, you can't go, and I'm like, but I gotta go with him, and I just kept going. I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but what ended up happening was I ended up alone in the woods because they got so far ahead because they were running, and I couldn't see them, and I was like wandering through the brush and then finally I saw the kind of a little glow in the distance of where he was. So that added to the experience for sure. But during that, when I was trying to get the character went taking off, and somehow I end up ripping the ear thing off my mask at that point. So it got a little physical. Speaking of physical, it's a trail in the woods, in the dark. You're walking over tree stumps and grass and dirt and mud, up and down. So we just want to point that out. This is definitely an event where you need to be physically capable to be able to walk for a brisk walk for about 20 minutes. It wasn't like we were strolling. We were walking pretty fast.
Yeah.
And definitely it was a good amount of exercise. And I enjoyed it. I got my heartbeat up, so that was great. So definitely the anticipation I like, the scariness I like. So we would highly recommend this. And I think if you have the opportunity and you're in South Florida, Treetops Park in Davie, check out this attraction because it was definitely a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yes, it was. So a couple other things I want to point out. If you are a parent and you're thinking about taking your children to this event, here's my opinion on it. And we talked about this. I don't think this is not for small children. This is a little too scary and a little too adult-oriented for small children. You seem to think that age 8 is appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm pushing a little more towards maybe age 10. I think it depends on your kid. You, as a parent, if you're watching this, you know your child. And the reason we bring this up is at the very beginning when we arrived tonight, before we went into the attraction, there was a family that was checking in. And because they have characters that are kind of working the queue line before you even go into the haunt, this little boy was with the group, and there were a bunch of other children there, traumatized from the start. They hadn't even gotten their tickets yet, and this little boy was crying, hysterical, cowering on his dad. And, you know, they were all sort of surrounding him and trying to convince him to do it. I don't know if that's such a good idea sometimes. I think that if your child is that traumatized that early, take a moment and walk away. Because that, I know, and from my own experience, I remember being a little boy and going to something like this with my cousins. There was a thing called House on Haunted Hill up in upstate New York. And we were all like gearing up towards it and all excited. And I was the youngest. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it. And of course we got there. And I was traumatized from that experience. And then they're all like, you got to do it. You got to do it. Anyway, I just point that out. So definitely I would say be cautious. I definitely don't think it's for small children, for sure.
Yeah, for very small children, no.
So definitely make sure you're mobile. Go with an open mind to be scared and have fun with it. That's the main thing. And there's a few other things to be aware of. We mentioned bringing bug spray. Definitely wear bug spray because it's Treetops Park. It's in the wilderness. You might want to wear some socks or long socks. It's ticks. You know, there might be ticks out there. You don't know.
Bring water off so you can have water after the
yeah,
tour.
and if you do need to hydrate yourself, they do sell at the ticket booth. They have water and Gatorade and stuff you could purchase there. But yeah, definitely be hydrated because it's warm at night, even though it's after dark. Other things to be aware of. They do have a sign and a warning sign. This is nature, folks. You're walking through nature. There is apparently a pack of coyotes, wild coyotes that live out in those woods. There's definitely the opportunity that there's going to be spiders and snakes and raccoons and other creatures that might be out. Of course, we didn't see any. For the most part, those things are going to be kind of hidden and probably afraid of you.
Yeah, they don't want to.
But you basically sign your life away. Just letting you know, if you do go to this event and you do the VIP experience or you do the experience where the actors are going to touch you, they do make you sign a waiver. And you're basically stating that you are not going to sue them. There is no liability on the part of the attraction if something happens to you and you fall down or you get injured or whatever. And also, flip side of that, if you go to this attraction and you're the type of person who is going to react if somebody jumps out at you and you're going to touch one of those actors or you're going to punch one of those actors, they have police there and they will prosecute you to the full extent of the law. No ifs, ands, buts. So no touching. They can touch you, but you can't touch them. Only if you ask for it. Again, if you don't ask for that experience, they're not going to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and they didn't bother me. They got close to me, but they didn't bother. They didn't touch me. So, and I was fine with that. I don't like touching.
But if if you choose the full experience where they can touch you, or even if you didn't, engage in a little chat with them and see what's their reaction.
Yeah, that was
and-
kind of the cool thing, that the scare actors were willing to engage, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they'll say something to you like,
Yeah.
you got to get out of here. And I'll be like, why do we have to get out?
Like, at one point, one of the girls was screaming at me, yelling, you gotta go, you gotta leave, you gotta leave. And then I was about to leave, and I said, well, you know what? I don't want to leave. I want to stay. And then she said, you think you have an option? And he starts screaming, and she starts screaming, and she pushed me away.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
was fun.
Yeah, so they definitely interact with you, which was great. And I typically don't get scared very easy, but I did have one scare. There was something that jumped out of the woods and got me. So I love when I can get scared, because typically at these things, I'm pretty unfazed by them. So I got a little scared tonight.
Yeah. And then look around, because you can see stuff like hanging and on the side. So that's fun.
So definitely check it out, folks. It's a great thing. And we're giving you a little teaser here too, by the way. If you notice our shirts, it's Halloween season. He's got a little Mickey over there. I got the Disney characters here. Why? Why, you ask? Well, guess what? We got another adventure coming up. Juan Carlos and I are going to be heading up to Orlando. We're going to get a day in the Magic Kingdom to celebrate the 50th anniversary. And then on the 29th of October, we're hopping aboard the Disney Dream for the Disney Halloween at Sea cruise. And we're so excited. This is Juan Carlos's first time on board a Disney cruise ship.
Yep.
I haven't been on since the launch of the Disney Magic back in the late 90s. So this is going to be exciting, and you guys get to come along with us, of course, for all the adventures on the high seas, and we're super excited, so stay tuned for that. In addition to our big Disney cruise coming up, we're going to be heading back to Treetops Park one more time on October 22nd, and we're going to be celebrating with all of the scare actors and the LGBTQ plus community. And we're excited about this because they chose the Pride Center of Fort Lauderdale, which is located in Wilton Manors, to be the charity this year. And so all of the proceeds of that night are going to go back to the community. And I think that's fantastic. So super excited. So we're going to go back on the 22nd, and we'll create another video, and we'll talk to a lot of our fellow community members and find out what they think of the scare as they exit. I think we're going to try to do a little run and gun and see what people...
Maybe they are going to scare people with Snap fans.
Snap fans. But anyway, we appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed this and found it informative. If you have any other questions about this year's event, put them down below and we'll be sure to answer. And as we always say,
happiness is
a lifestyle. And we appreciate you watching. And if you haven't done so yet, please
subscribe.
Please do it. Hit that thumbs up. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm for some reason.
Watch the next video.
Yes, please do that.
Thumbs
All of
like
those,
button.
lots of buttons around, just hit them all. And guess what? It's free. You don't have to pay any money to watch us. Isn't that great? Anyway, until next time, everyone, boo
To you.
Bye.